Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So yeah, today we're looking at a phone that is honestly kind of legendary at this point. I've got the iPhone 13 Pro here in graphite. And for full disclosure, pretty much everything I'm going to say in this review applies to the 13 Pro Max as well. The main difference is just, the physical size and the battery capacity, which we will definitely talk about a bit later. But yeah, the goal of today's video is to just share my day-to-day experiences using the 13 Pro now in 2026. Is it still holding up? Do you really need to upgrade to a newer model? We're going to cover design, performance, battery life, the camera, and of course how it handles the newest software. So let's just step back for a second. When this phone came out a few years ago, it was actually a massive deal. It was the first iPhone to ever bring the 120Hz ProMotion display. Before this, we were all stuck on 60Hz. It also brought a really huge leap in battery life compared to the older generation, and it introduced macro photography, but tech moves really fast. So how does it actually feel today? Let's start with the design and the display. This phone uses the stainless steel frame and ceramic shield front, which honestly feels super premium. It's got that reassuring weight to it. But I will say, if you compare it to the newer iPhones, like my main daily driver right now, the iPhone 17 Pro, yeah, you can kind of feel the difference. The 17 Pro uses that new unibody aluminum material, which feels way more modern and handles heat differently, but the 13 Pro still looks fantastic. And then there's the display. Like I said, this has a 120Hz ProMotion screen. By 2026 standards, 60Hz is just old tech. Like every phone nowadays has 120Hz. Even the newer base model iPhone 17 finally has 120Hz ProMotion, same as the Pro models. So if you're holding onto an older iPhone or base model that only has a 60Hz screen, jumping to this 13 Pro is going to feel incredibly smooth. The OLED panel is still bright, the colors are rich, and that 120Hz makes a world of difference for just, daily scrolling. Moving on to performance, I ran Geekbench 6 on this just to get some numbers for you guys. The single core score came in at 2,420, multi-core at 5,440, and the Metal GPU score was 20,806. Now, what does that actually mean for your day-to-day use? Honestly, it's pretty good. Apps open quick, swiping between them is really smooth, and the performance is absolutely still there. A big reason for that is the combination of a 15 Bionic chip and 6GB of RAM. I made another video a while back about my base iPhone 13, and that one only had 4GB of RAM. With the base 13, it was pretty common to see background apps constantly reloading. But with the 6GB on this 13 Pro, it holds up way better. Sure, there's a gap if we compare it to the 8GB on the 15 Pro or 16 Pro, and obviously a massive gap compared to the newest 17 Pro, which brings us 12GB of RAM. But for today's standards, the 6GB is still decent. However, I do have to talk about the heat. I've noticed that in 2026, this iPhone 13 Pro gets warm a lot more easily. Even when I'm just doing day-to-day stuff like scrolling social media, working on some docs, watching YouTube, or browsing Safari, yeah, it just easily gets warm. I do some gaming on here too, and most high demanding games are still totally playable on high settings, but it definitely heats up during long sessions. I honestly don't know if it's just aging hardware or if it's just because I'm so used to my iPhone 17 Pro with its new Apple vapor chamber cooling system that stays so cold, but I do remember the 13 Pro running a bit cooler when it was brand new. Now let's talk about the software, because this is actually really interesting. This phone is running the public stable release of iOS 26, and with iOS 26, Apple introduced that new liquid glass design language. It is really satisfying to see. The animations are gorgeous, but of course it uses a ton of system resources. Surprisingly though, the 13 Pro handles it incredibly well. That fluid glass design paired with the super fluid 120Hz ProMotion display is just a really perfect fit. I mean, this is a phone that's over 4 years old, and it doesn't stutter. It makes older software like say iOS 18 just feel really old. The gap in design and animation is huge. But there is a gap between this and newer models, Apple Intelligence. This phone does not support it. Honestly, for me, it's not a deal breaker, at least for now. You know, Apple Intelligence is still sort of in the beta stage right now anyway, so I usually just default to alternatives that are more powerful like Gemini or ChatGPT. But yeah, this is something you really need to consider. I believe Apple Intelligence will just keep getting better and better. It's just a matter of time, and the fact that this iPhone doesn't support it is probably the real gap between a modern standard iPhone and an older one. Okay, let's get into battery life, because this is a big one. For a long time, my 13 Pro's battery health was sitting at 70%. And guys, with battery health that low, it really sucks. I mean, if I used it as a daily driver, I was charging this thing 2 to 3 times a day. The standby time was just not great. It drained so fast compared to when the health was above 80%. Looking around online forums, a lot of 13 Pro and Pro Max users have been running into similar degradation, which is totally normal physics for aging batteries. You really have a decision to make when it gets that low. For me, I actually just did a battery replacement myself. I bought an aftermarket battery to try out. Now, please note right here, I do not recommend you do what I did. I just did it for my own experiment and experience. This isn't my main phone anymore, so it was fine. But if it's your daily driver, please just go to the official Apple service center or a trusty repair shop and get a genuine quality replacement. Do it at your own risk. But anyway, after I replaced it, my battery health shows 100% now. Because it's not a genuine Apple part, it shows that unknown part message in the settings, but honestly, no problem. It's actually a really good battery. After the replacement, the performance is great, the battery life is great, and it really can handle a whole day with just one charge, just like when it was new. Day to day with this phone is still really decent. It's kind of like having a brand new phone again. As for the cameras, they are still fantastic for your average day-to-day shots. The Pro camera features, the colors, the sharpness, it all holds up. When it launched, the macro mode was a big deal and it's still fun to use, but the one noticeable limitation now is cinematic mode. On the 13 Pro, it caps out at 1080p. Meanwhile, newer iPhones can do 4K cinematic, and if you compare it to my 17 Pro, obviously you don't get the massive new triple 48 megapixel sensors or the 8x telephoto zoom, but for social media and memories, the 13 Pro is totally fine. So what are the downsides? What do you need to consider before buying this? The biggest one is definitely the port. The iPhone 13 Pro still uses a Lightning port, not USB-C. Because it's not USB-C, it really lacks convenience and universality. It just doesn't feel modern when every other device you own uses one cable. So that port should definitely be a major consideration for you based on today's standards. So, the conclusion. Honestly, for me, the iPhone 13 Pro is surprisingly really great on today's standard. It does most things smoothly, and with the way prices have dropped, it is an absolute steal if you want a pro iPhone experience for an affordable price. You get the 120Hz display, great cameras, and premium materials. If you are currently using a 13 Pro and the battery is dying, you have two options. One, you can just replace the battery and get an all-day phone again for really cheap. Or two, you can look at upgrading. But here's my thought process on that right now. Because we're sitting here in mid-2026, my advice on upgrading directly to the iPhone 17 Pro right this second is maybe just wait for a few months. You know, the iPhone 18 Pro is launching around September with way more upgrades, like we're talking about a massive jump in battery life, variable aperture cameras, and that new 2nm chip. So the smartest decision for September is either you grab the 17 Pro at a nicely decreased price once the new ones drop, or you just go all in on the 18 Pro. If you do decide to wait and eventually sell your 13 Pro to fund that upgrade, the resale value is actually still pretty good, mainly because this phone will still be receiving the latest iOS updates for at least another 2 years. For me, this 13 Pro is now mainly my backup phone. I use it for review purposes, testing beta programs, and just, messing around while my 17 Pro is on the charger, but it still holds a really special place on my desk. Alright, that is my long-term take on the iPhone 13 Pro in 2026. Let me know in the comments what you guys are using right now, and if you're planning an upgrade this year. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.